My journey towards minimalism commenced 7 years ago. My father questioned my motivations behind this lifestyle shift, citing the common belief that our possessions reflect our life's achievements and that as we age, it's natural for possessions to accumulate. In response, I explained to him that true success in life is defined by freedom. It's the freedom to pursue whatever brings us joy, wherever and whenever we desire. To attain this level of freedom, I've realized that I must not be tied down by material possessions. The initial step I undertook involved cultivating discipline within myself to curtail unnecessary expenditures. I refrain from attending expansive mall-wide sales, unless I have a genuine requirement during the promotional period. However, please understand that I do participate in these sales if I have specific essential needs, such as when acquiring a new dishwasher or replacing home faucets. These sales have proven to be beneficial in terms of cost savings. For items like music records, movies, and books, I opt for digital copies over physical ones. In the past, I used to buy CDs and DVDs to amass my favorite music and films, but this eventually led to overwhelming clutter. Moving on to the second phase, I embarked on the challenging task of decluttering both my physical and digital possessions. This phase was particularly demanding and spanned 5 years for its completion. I had to sift through accumulated items spanning 3 decades. I let go of nearly all the belongings that I had collected during my college and high school days, as well as earlier periods. These items, which I once believed represented my hobbies and memories, were subjected to scrutiny. I questioned my attachment to school books, notebooks, projects, and award certificates. This process consumed a substantial amount of time and took an emotional toll on me. Letting go proved to be an arduous endeavor, as my emotional attachment to these possessions was deeply ingrained. However challenging it was, I recognized the necessity of the task and thus committed myself to eliminating 5 items from my possessions each day. I initiated the process by parting with items like stickers, posters, and magazines. Subsequently, I tackled belongings I had held onto under the assumption that they might become useful someday. Among these were my intramural sports shirts, old mugs, expired identification cards, shoeboxes from years ago, and similar items. I even questioned my rationale for retaining the boxes that once contained my appliances. For items that held significant emotional value, I decided to preserve their memory through photographs before bidding them farewell. Among these were the drawings, paintings, and crafts my children and I had created together during their early years. Although I had amassed 4 boxes full of these creations, I ultimately chose to part with all but one from my son and one from my daughter. Those with inscriptions like "I love you, Mommy and Daddy" were simply too precious to discard. With the passage of time, the results began to manifest. My living space gradually expanded, and the newfound openness served as motivation to continue decluttering. My pace gained momentum, and I successfully encouraged my wife and children to undertake their own decluttering endeavors. Together, we addressed their closets, persuading them to donate clothing they no longer wished to wear. The positive outcome became evident to them, and they found joy in witnessing their closets transform into organized spaces. The final and third phase of my journey involves the ongoing maintenance of minimal possessions. A key principle I've adopted is that whenever I acquire a new item, I simultaneously remove one from my possessions. This practice ensures that I'm not accumulating additional belongings, but rather, I'm either upgrading or replacing items that are no longer functional. This approach has resulted in a state where I enjoy more time and space than ever before. While some might perceive this as self-deprivation, the truth is quite the opposite. In fact, I've come to understand that genuine contentment and fulfillment arise from the liberation that minimalism provides. That's it for today. See you again next time.